Now, the attacks in Israel have prompted Charlotte-Mecklenburg police to step up security here in the Queen City. And our Mary Calkins is live at CMPD headquarters in uptown Charlotte. So, Mary, tell us, what steps are police taking?
Well, John, right now CMPD says there have not been any credible threats to any person or place, but they are being proactive. Now, CMPD put out a statement saying they are working with the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation to monitor this situation. Now, officers will also be designated to patrol all synagogues and mosques within our area. CMPD is getting in touch with these local religious organizations to make sure they're having conversations about any safety concerns they may have. Now, Chief Johnny Jennings had this message to share saying, quote, "My heart goes out to everyone who is personally impacted by this ongoing international situation. CMPD is committed to ensuring the safety of all citizens within our community, and we will not tolerate any criminal threats or actions against these communities." Now, CMPD says if you have any information about any threat, you should call 911 immediately. Now, we're also getting word about some vigils that are happening at mosques and synagogues throughout the area. I do know there is one tonight at 7 o'clock at Levine Jewish Community Center. And as soon as I get more information about others, I will bring that to you. But for now, reporting live in Charlotte, Mary Calkins, WBTV, on your side.
All right, Mary, thanks for that good information there.